I used to do street dancing before I did comedy. I want to go back to street dancing this year. I'm going to make that my one sacred thing I do a week where nothing gets in the way of that, and I do, unless I fall in love with somebody. But they will come to street dancing with me.
They will. Yeah, Marty's always said that her ideal partner is into street dance.
Yeah, we can like solve any argument with a dance battle.
Yeah, that's why Marty has had so many incidents of almost getting with somebody who just lives on the street. Because by definition, they will at some stage dance on the street. They will be default street dancers.
Yeah, but then what happens 9 times out of 10, they start clicking, and I don't like that dance style, so nothing ever happens. They're like
really?
West Side. They're like jazzy West Side Story, and I'm like, no, we gotta, you know, honey this. Honey's the dance.
Honey this.
Honey is a dance movie.
Oh, I've never seen this.
It's that beautiful woman in it. What's her name?
Who?
Alba.
Jessica
Alba. That's my impression of Jessica Alba. I'm Jessica Alba.
That's spot on. Jesus Christ, Marty. You want to tour around with that?
I'm really good at dancing and acting. I'm Jessica Alba.
You should just
You'll see that at the Fringe now.
You should redub Honey with that.
I'm Jessica Alba.
Remember that with Marty and Roger.
Hello everybody, welcome to Member That Podcast. I'm Marty Gleeson and I'm here with
Roger O'Sullivan.
Roger O'Sullivan, the Roger O'Sullivan. We're talking about something very exciting this week that I have been looking forward to talking about since we started this podcast. What is it?
It is urban myths, which I consider such a Marty. This is a Marty topic. You're like, I reckon you were the kid spreading the myths in school. I was
finding them out and telling them and embellishing them and
adding to them.
But like just really making sure I held court and told the story right, you know.
Yeah.
That would be how I'd do it. I'd have the room listening to not my ideas, but the stories.
Were you, I'm just thinking about it now, Marty, you kind of give older cousin vibes. Were you ever that like older cousin person who was like kind of terrorizing their
You're the second person who said this to me, but they said
really?
that you're the first person said I give off weird older cousin vibes, that like you go to your friend's house and their older sibling is there and they're just like weird and you don't know how to talk to them or hang out with them.
Okay.
And I was like,
I don't mean it like that.
That's crazy to me because I'm so charming. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't mean it like that. What I mean is like, you know, somebody's older cousin sometimes who's a bit like more clued in and they just know they can get one older on like the younger cousins.
Yeah, I do. Specifically, I have a story about this actually. That is urban myth-esque actually. Oh my goodness.
Go on.
Basically, you know, we all have loads of cousins. I was playing at my cousin's house and he quite a bit younger than me, maybe 6-7 years maybe. Mm-hmm. And he was really afraid of wasps. And I told him, for some reason, I don't know why, I wanted to antagonize his anxiety over wasps. So I told him that ketchup comes from wasps. When they sting you, they actually extract blood. And that's how they make ketchup. And so he was even more afraid of wasps then. And then it wasn't that long ago, I was like, yeah, that was me who told you. And he was like, what? And he was really afraid of them for ages. Like, he knew that wasn't real eventually, but he was more afraid of them than normal because of that feeling he had when he heard that, I think. Yeah. That's like
such a little shit vibe there. You know, as in like, you just want to, are you afraid of wasps, are you? Well, let's make that fear debilitating.
I want you to be terrified.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Let's
why.
see if we can crack that up a few.
Maybe I did that on my one day a year where I'm mean to people. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that was
Actually, yeah, this is starting to fall apart now, Marty. That there was only one day a year.
I don't know. Do you have any urban legends or myths that you like heard that you were genuinely like, oh my god, like, and you know the popular ones that would go around?
Yeah. To this day, I won't do Bloody Mary in a mirror.
No, I did
3
it
times.
once,
No.
and I was like, oh my god. That was when I moved to London, and I was like, I'm crazy.
Why? What was the context? Tell me why you did
I think
this.
I was at a house party, and I was like drinking, and it came in. I think we were playing werewolves or something, and then I just was like, I'm 28 now. I can do what I want. So I said it into the mirror, and nothing happened, of course. But I remember being like, whoa. It was like there was no reason for me to have done it. I just got an ocean of it and just did it.
That is so funny. I think if people were to like make up something that Marty Gleason might do at a party, I think he's going, "Hey guys, watch this." go to the nearest mirror. And you're just for the rest of the party. Yeah, wasn't even worried. Just fucking looking over your back.
Bloody Mary. I did it. I just did it now.
I wouldn't do it. I genuinely I wouldn't do that. Wouldn't do Ouija board.
Really?
There.
I wouldn't. No,
Yeah.
to be fair, I wouldn't do a Ouija board now either. To be fair, I wouldn't. I won't mess with that now.
I believe it. I believe in ghosts and stuff. So I'm careful, you know.
I do to an extent, but you know when you reason with it as well. But I'd like to think that is an area of reality because I like that paranormal stuff.
Paranormal world. Have you ever seen a ghost?
No, just felt things. Have you?
No, I've not seen one, but I don't think I've felt things either. What are these things you're feeling?
I don't know if it's just that like you go into those scientific things and like in your brain where it's setting off like these like things being like you're in danger because you're literally like in the dark, you can't properly see anything, you're in an unfamiliar place, and obviously your brain is going to like set off like alarms. So but there's certain, I don't know, this, like sometimes you feel things.
Yeah.
Do you not just feel
I know
things?
yeah. I think I did feel something once ever. When I after my grandmother died years ago, I remember being in the house alone. Not even her house, just like the family house alone. And I suddenly just started to freak out. Like it felt like there was something in the house.
Oh my
So
God.
I ended up just standing outside until my like sister came home. I was just freaked.
And did
out
you not go in and
completely.
check on your grandmother?
No, she was dead.
Oh.
So she died, and then we'd come from like the removal or whatever, and I was at home alone, and then just he started to get this like, freaked out feeling. So I just like left. Just
She
stood
might have been
outside
in
the house.
there. She might have been in there hanging out, waiting for you to turn on the TV.
And then, do you know what I saw? A little robin, and wasn't she the
Or
little
an
robin?
owl. Or
An owl.
butterfly.
Yeah, and that was her. And do you know what I saw? I saw a butterfly, and the robin ate the butterfly, and then the owl ate the robin, and I thought that was her.
Did she have
That was
dementia?
her.
Was she like, who? Who are you?
Who are you?
Oh no. What was it like? What was an urban legend that was like popular in school for you?
I think I don't know about school, but like my dad was obsessed with Jack O'Lantern.
Mm.
Do you ever you know about him? Yeah, the walking through the bog, and my dad would like swear up and down. I'd say he'd still swear now that Jack O'Lantern is real, and that he.
What
like,
is it for the
wanders the bog.
listeners at home? What's the
For
story?
the listeners at home, it's the idea of that there's a man who wanders through the bog with like a little lantern, Jack O'Lantern, and I think he's missing a head.
Okay.
And then if you're out in the bog at night, and he comes across you, he'll chop your head off and take it.
There's a lot of head stuff. A lot of like.
Yeah.
There was another one, have you ever heard, where this woman used to wear like a red scarf and she would never take it off in like any situation, and her friends would be like, take off the scarf, and she was like, no.
Yes.
And then eventually, I don't know how it came to be where she took it off. She did take it off. Her head fell off.
Yes. I've heard
But
this
what I've realised when it comes to urban legends is that they're meant to teach you a lesson, right? So what is the lesson in that and the lesson in the jack-o'-lantern? Is it like don't go around at night on your own? But what's with the scarf one?
The scarf is, like, give women space, like leave them alone. Let women dress how they want.
I mean, Jesus, I didn't. I think if anything, give us more trouble, please. I'm looking for a challenge. No, but like, so we wouldn't be wearing jackets or anything when we were younger, and like the fact that we'd put on a scarf would be huge. Do you know? You'd be out there traipsing in the rain, like with your no fucking hoodies.
You'd have a big red scarf. Do you know that red scarf one? I think I've heard different versions of it where she takes it off and there's like her neck's cut. Like not that the red falls off, but like that there's blood there. And I think there's a Japanese one, which I'll get slightly wrong, but it's this idea of it's a woman who gets you to look at her, and then she smiles, but she is like, the big cuts up her face, and they open up. Then she asks you if you think she's beautiful, and if you say she isn't beautiful, then she says you're so shallow, and then kills you. And if you say you do think she's beautiful, then she takes you off with her, and she says, "Oh, well, we should get married." Then she takes you into the netherworld.
Oh no!
I think there is a way you can say you're gay, and that is
say you're gay.
You can say you're gay.
Sorry, I'm actually pansexual, but not for you.
Yeah, I'm actually.
I'm actually really gay.
Yeah, so I think if you're a man and you're caught by this, you should say that you're gay, and if you're a woman and you're caught by this, you should say you're straight, and that's the only way you can get away. If you're, of course, obviously you need to know it in Japanese.
But she's just like an aggressive, annoying drunk man. Then basically, you just have to be like, "I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay," and then they're like, "Maybe I can change your mind," and then it's the same premise. I think that. Try and act her out, but I decided maybe don't do that.
You were going to do the accent.
But I wasn't going to do the accent. But like I wouldn't do the accent now. But like they definitely, people in countries where English isn't their first language, they definitely are in their own houses being like doing impressions of people who speak English and laughing about it. But they're probably doing it out in the street because they can. I'd love to. I'd love to see that happening. I'd love to see them making fun of a Western person and trying to do the accent and being over the top about it the way, we would have in the 90s with
hamburger,
anybody.
like that.
The North Korean president, won't allow the word hamburger anymore in North Korea.
Really?
Because it's too American. Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's illegal now to say hamburger.
They probably don't even have hamburgers, to be fair.
They're called meat sandwiches now.
Yeah. That's a meat sandwich. That's a meat sando. Just, lovely little meat sando. I think a friend of a friend worked in Japan for a while. And he was doing teaching English as a foreign language, that type of thing. But he could also speak a fair bit of Japanese. I've never been to Japan, but I have heard that it's like the type of culture where if you try and speak Japanese, they'll be very grateful, but they will just be like, "Oh, it's probably better if I try and speak English to you." That they kind of assume that no Westerners speak Japanese, which is fair enough. But he went into a little shop in like the rural part that he worked in, and there were these two old women behind the counter, and one of them looked at him and then looked back at her friend and goes, "Oh, look at the big eyes on this guy. Look at the wide eyes on this guy." And he was like, "What the fuck?"
That's so funny because it's fine, but also when you think about it, you're like, "Hey."
Yeah. And he said that like she was 1,000% like being racist.
Yeah.
But it was a racism he didn't know about. So he was
because he
just
wouldn't be
like,
used to that. Yeah,
yeah.
be like, I do have big eyes.
I guess I do have
Thank
big
you
eyes.
very much.
Yeah.
That's so funny. That's like another you know that myth that you were told, like if you pulled your eyes like that. So for the listeners at home, I'm like pulling my lids down, and if the wind blew, your face would get stuck that way.
Yeah.
Well, I was in Ballybunion once when I was a kid, which is like a seaside town in Kerry, in Ireland, and I saw a girl with that, her eyelids like permanently like that, and I was like, oh my god, it's 'cause the wind like
yeah.
pulled that it got stuck.
The wind.
And somebody I was with was like, there now, see, that's what happens to you. And like thinking about it now, obviously obviously not just thinking about it now, but like I haven't thought about it since. But like that's crazy that somebody told me when I was with them, being like, that's what that's what happened to her. But obviously it was just like a medical condition.
Yeah.
But they were like, yep, see, look now.
So now, you know, I knew somebody in secondary school who got this thing called Bell's palsy.
Okay.
That's where you get some. I think it can affect your arm and stuff, but where you get partial paralysis of your face.
Right.
And it'll like come on and leave at different times. And when like he got it, his name is Mark. I won't say his full name because it'd probably be pretty easy to
Mark Palsy.
Mark Palsy. But in no joke, the doctor said to him when he had it that he reckoned what triggered it. He's like, for like half a year, one side of his face was just completely paralyzed. The doctor told him that he thought what triggered it was that he'd slept with the window open, and that a gust of wind had triggered it. And I shit you not, like that was on like a medical note that he had to bring into school and stuff.
That doctor, oh my god, that doctor should be like a bricklayer. What the hell is wrong with them? What
but obviously, for the rest of the time, everyone just said literally the wind changed and his face talked that way.
That, imagine being like a parent and reading that note and being like, you're not serious, are you? You're not saying that. And he's like, so well, you know, if he eats more broccoli now, he'll actually have more hair on his chest if he actually does do that.
Get better.
Yeah. God, the cheek of that doctor.
And I've looked it up subsequently, and like Bell's palsy, supposedly you have no control over it. Like it just, things can trigger it or whatever, but it usually just happens of its own accord.
Wow.
So.
Oh my god, is he okay now? Is he standing in windowless rooms?
Yeah. I've not seen him in years, but he ended up getting a really good job, so I think he's fine.
You'd want the balance of like, you know, life after that.
Yeah.
Crap.
That guy is like that guy's like a genius. Yeah, I don't know if he'll ever hear this, but he's such a genius that when he was in maybe I should a different guy, not this guy, a different guy who's of a similar level of intellect, missed a deadline at university for one of their computer science courses, and just hacked the submission form so that he could submit it at the right time.
Imagine being that, you know when you're that age and you're that clever in general, but then you have this sense of self where you're like, I'm okay to actually break the rules because I'm such a heightened level of intelligence to know that like authority is actually not worth like standing in line for, and I'm going to make a decision for my life now. Whereas like, you know, not a normal kid, but a kid generally would be like, oh well, I can't go against that, even if like do that. You know. But he was like, I'm a friggin' genius. I can go above and beyond. Yeah, so cool. I always love when you see people do that when they make like kind of a mad decision like that, and you're like, oh my god, I wish I had those kinds of cojones. I was such a fucking listening to the man all the time.
Were you a big goody two shoes, Marty?
I wasn't a goody two shoes, but I wasn't like being like you know, ass licking or anything.
Lick, yeah.
No, I wasn't a lick, but I was definitely someone who didn't like getting in trouble. Like I was afraid of getting in trouble. I still have that feeling now. I feel like I'm in trouble a lot of the time. It's because I went to a very strict primary school. Yeah.
Oh wow. I never think about being in trouble. That's a.
Always do. I always feel like if I go to meet you and if I'm late, I'm like, I'm in big trouble. Even if I'm like, even if I'm 10 minutes late, 5 minutes late, I'm like, he's gonna absolutely hate my guts forever.
What time is this, Marty?
What the fuck do you
What do you call this?
What do you call? I'm trying to think. There's the urban legend thing is like very interesting for someone who is afraid of certain rules being broken, because you are just like, oh my god, this is a whole other level. You know, it goes beyond.
There's new like mythological rules almost, or like how do you feel about fairy forts?
Oh, there's a fairy fort behind near our house. Like, we wouldn't go. We would when we'd be kicking ball and go into the fort. We wouldn't go into the fort. We'd leave.
Really?
It alone. Yeah.
Would you leave a little offering for them?
I think we have in the past, yeah. But like, I wouldn't. We just wouldn't be messing with any of that kind of stuff. Do you know? You're absolutely holding in a yawn there. Just you know that thing that you bite your mouth and you're not.
It's not you, Marty. It's not you.
No, I know, and it never is. When somebody yawns, it's never about the person. We know that. We're all very self-obsessed. It's about your own day and what you've been up to. It's nothing to do with me.
I've had a long day of calling out my friends and bitching about you, Marty, and I'm exhausted.
She just can't decide if she wants a full fringe or not. Will she just bloody commit? No, but when it comes to urban legends and getting in trouble, that was another level of anxiety for me, because there was that urban legend of, and when I heard this story, I was so sure it was true because my sister told it to me, but framed it as my friend's friend in college, right? You know, this kind of thing. So you're like, oh my god, you know the story where this woman is like minding her friend's dog, and then the dog dies. Do you know this story?
No.
Well, they're minding the dogs, a person's away on holidays, minding the dog. The dog dies somehow. I'm not really sure how. So the woman decides she needs to take the dog to the vet, but she doesn't have a car. So what she does is she gets like a duffel bag, or, you know, a Reebok, whatever bag, puts the dog into the bag, and then gets on the bus, like a public bus, right, to go to the vet. And she's on the bus, and then somebody's getting off the bus, and they're like, oh, do you need a hand with your bag, because it like looks really heavy? And she's like, no, I'm fine, whatever. And then they assume, because she's like kind of being protective about the bag, and it's a big bag, that it's full of like valuable stuff. So they snatch the bag off her and run off the bus, and the bag actually contains the dead dog. So your one is just like, what the hell do I do now? Because not only is the dog dead, somebody's like ran off with the dog in the bag. And this like, there was a period of time when everyone was telling this story. It was coming back at different bits of it changed and whatever. And I wonder if there is usually there is a small element of truth when it comes to those urban legends, you know.
Truth. I think that sounds very similar to a big one in our school, or maybe in our secondary school. This was a big one. Do you know the woman taking the shit in the bag?
No.
Have you ever heard this one?
No. Oh my god, tell me.
This is like, again, another one of like, is there a hint of truth to this? But where this woman's at a party, and she goes up to use the loo upstairs, and she arrives in busy party, and does a shit, massive shit. That's important. That's important for the story.
Yeah,
absolutely massive.
Okay.
And she tries to flush it, but it just won't flush.
Okay.
It just won't work at all. And there's people like knocking on the door of the party. They're all like, come on. And she's so embarrassed about this. She's like, oh, I can't let them see what is going on here, like the level of shit I've done. So she instead to save her embarrassment.
This is 100% true.
Yeah,
this is true.
To
but
save
anyway,
her embarrassment, she takes the shit and puts it in like a bag for life that happens to be in the toilet.
Yeah.
Packs up the bag for life, ties it up, decides to throw it out the window.
Yeah, I've heard this story. I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
And then
Actually,
it
go on.
smatters on the conservatory down below. She didn't look out the
That's an
window.
additional detail because I know
Here we go.
who this happened. This happened to someone I know. Like, I actually know this happened to somebody I know.
That's not true.
And they threw it out the window, but they didn't. The conservatory thing. Like, I think this has happened to multiple people. I don't think this is that crazy.
Well, what?
Are you telling me, Roger, you've never shit in a bag and thrown it out the window? Are you serious?
I've certainly never been caught. So you genuinely think you know somebody that this happened to?
I know someone who shit in a bag and threw it out the window, yeah.
So you're telling me just like straight up, you know somebody who shit in a bag and threw it out a window,
Oh, yeah.
and you like know them. It's not like a person's friend. It's like you.
No,
know
I know.
the person.
I know them. I know them.
Wow.
I know
That-
multiple people who've shit in bags.
But you know what's so crazy is that like we would have been hearing this when we were like 14 or 15. So it's definitely not the person. So as in like.
No, this person I've heard this story maybe a year and a half ago.
Yeah, so like it must just happen a lot.
Oh, I'd say it happens all the time. I'd say
I
it
would just
happens.
never
If we
think-
could find some kind of way of,
What
I'd
I
say-
would do, I reckon I'd just have a good go at like opening up the cistern.
Roger, if you wanted, you could take a shit in a bag right now and throw it out the window.
I just it's
Yeah, of course you would, but some people wouldn't have the wits about them to do that. And they might have done that and it still wouldn't have gone down. Sometimes you look
Do you know
into that thing and you're like, wow, I'm so proud of what's in there.
Do you know what I would have done is I would have opened the door and I would have gone, Pooey, you won't believe who was in here just before me. Pooey, whoa.
Poo-wee.
Hey.
Oh, that's funny.
That's
Shall we move on to listener submissions? Cause
Yeah,
time.
let's go to our listener submissions and see what kind of urban myths we were given by them.
I got some absolute bangers this week. Absolute bangers.
bangers.
I
I've
want
got
to
two good ones.
talk about one. There's two in particular I like, but there's one I want to mention first because it's, you know, the way we're very grateful to be getting messages from people who are from the UK and from Ireland about their stories. But I had a message from your friend and mine, Shalaka Kurup, great comedian,
Oh yes.
who's from India, and she told me some Indian urban legends, which I thought
Very
would be really
excited to hear
interesting to hear. So, one of them was there was this gangster who used to steal sandalwood from the forest in Karnataka. I'm not saying that right. Karnataka.
No, I'd say that's spot on.
But you know, the Karnataka. Not like Barcelona, you know, when people do that. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
Karnataka. Anyway, really, so there was this gangster. This is a true story, this part. So there was a gangster who used to steal sandalwood from forests in Karnataka. He was a really bad guy called Veerappan. And when Shalaka was a child, the government, there was something to do with the government where this man, the gangster, kidnapped this really famous actor in this place, Karnataka, and held him hostage. And then this was like when Shalaka was in school. And so eventually, anyway, the government, the actor was released, or the government got the actor back anyway. And there was loads of riots going on at the time. Like, the kids weren't allowed to go to school or go outside because it was like so dangerous, because people were rioting about getting this actor back. And then basically they weren't allowed to go out because their parents were saying the equivalent of the man will get you, which was Veerappan will get you. And it became like this big thing after that whole event, that Veerappan was this like character person who would actually get you when you go outside, because it's based on a true story.
Wow. Veerappan will get you is like
Yeah. The man will get you.
the man will get you. Veerappan. I'm gonna next time I gig with Shalaka, I'm going to, like, let's say she's going to go get a drink or something. I go, oh, be careful, Veerappan might get you.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just want to see the look on her face. Is she like, what did you say? That's, you know, this is this is another one from further afield, but I think you'll be interested in it because
Please.
this is from Melanie, who, I don't know if you'll remember this, but Melanie is the person who told us that she believed that you used to actually have to catch a bus.
Yes, yeah.
Like you'd
yeah, I
have
remember
to
this
jump
story.
on the bus. So
Yeah.
this is another one from Melanie. Melanie's from New Zealand. So they write in, my GF, who is Irish, and me, who is from New Zealand, both had separate stories, and I bet you'll know this one as well. Separate stories about how the main guy, Steve, from Blue's Clues, killed himself. Mine was that he put chopsticks up his nose and slammed his head on a table. But there are about 5 variations I've found worldwide. It was somehow a global rumour, but he is actually still alive. So that, I think, is a perfect example of how one rumour, or like one little urban myth, can take on little cultural differences depending on where it is. Because I think in Ireland,
Yes.
I definitely just heard that he'd hung himself or something.
But that was such an urban myth thing that went around for a while, was certain celebrities died in a car crash. That was like Raven from That's So Raven. Everyone was saying how she died all of a sudden. I don't know
You're
why.
obsessed with Raven from that.
I'm not. I just think she's cool.
Yeah.
But there was always a period of time where someone would be like, that person's dead, and you're like, no, they're not, because
Yeah.
pre-internet,
you couldn't check. It was very hard to check back then.
Yeah, my God. But she knew. She could see into the future.
She knew.
You know?
Do you know, I've heard like a random urban myth. It's probably one of the strangest. It's like the modern equivalent of an urban myth.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know if you will. Do you want to save that for the very end, or will I just?
Oh,
launch into
that's a
it
good
now?
idea. Yeah, we've been forgetting to do that in episodes, and I would like to do that. I've got a really good one, a very funny one from my friend. Oh, yeah, Sue. She said, not sure if this counts, but I told everyone in first class that the Virgin Mary appeared to my granny in Knock, and my teacher made me go around the whole school telling each class telling each class I distinctly remember all the teachers trying to hold in their laughter and was like, what the fuck, guys? Not funny. This is true. Big middle child syndrome.
That's unreal.
Isn't that
I
so
love
brilliant?
The balls as well on a kid like that is just being
Yeah.
like, yeah, my nan actually saw the Virgin Mary.
But kids are the origins of urban myths, like the amount of
Oh, yeah.
lies that we would say and tell, I got with this person on my holidays, all this stuff you hear people saying.
Do you want to hear like a mega lie? I've never told anyone this, Marty.
Oh, please.
Never.
Mega lie.
You're like the first person I've ever told this to. Is in primary school once. We had one of our teachers. They had this thing where they'd keep ducks in a pen in like our schoolyard down
Wow.
the back.
Wow.
I think it's because her dad like used to farm ducks or something like that. So she'd bring in little ducklings, and they'd stay there for like probably, in hindsight, probably a week or two. But when you're a kid, it just seems like such a long amount of time. And then one day they were gone, and they were probably legitimately taken out and just released or something. But some people said, oh, they were taken by a fox or whatever. And when we were there, it must have been like junior or senior infants. Let's say senior infants. I picked up a stone and I said, oh my God, there's actually a note written on this stone. And they said they've taken the ducks and they won't give them back until we go to the other side of the playground. And everyone was freaking out and they go, what? And I go, yeah. And they said, oh, can we see the stone? And I said, oh no, it says on it you're not going to see the stone.
Oh my
Or they'll kill the
God.
ducks.
Oh my God. Were you wearing glasses at this time as well?
No, this is
Oh,
like
it would have been
young-
so funny
young-
if you were.
just young shit on me.
Blink, blink. Oh my
Blink,
God,
blink.
that's so yeah, absolute crap. Like, this is a lie I'm telling you right now to your
Yeah.
face, and I'm a privileged a person of privilege to be let
Yeah.
in on this lie.
Yeah.
That's so funny, Roger.
They completely believed it. And I remember feeling bad, but also feeling a little like overwhelmed by it. I was like, oh god, like they're
What
they're
kind of
listening,
power
you
do
know?
I have?
Yeah.
That is so funny.
A bit weird.
Oh God,
Yeah, so I've never
that
told anyone
is-
that before.
I love that. That's
The-
perfect. That needs to
got-
be in your next Edinburgh hour.
I've got another lovely urban myth here from somebody called Landstander. Heard a story years back about a woman in Maynooth whose dog died. Marty,
Yeah, I know. Go on.
What? This
Is this it?
Yeah, this is the exact same story.
This-
but
yeah.
but listen to the little changes.
Okay.
This is where you see again it gets like
Warped.
warped a little bit. Dog died while her parents were away. Ended up bringing the dog in a suitcase to the vet. En route, somebody got off the dirt with the exact same case as that person, and then they swapped cases by mistake. And when she looked at it, it was DJ gear, and the other guy had bolted with her.
Yeah, I don't like that version. They made it too like Mr. Bean.
Oh, you think?
Like the swapping of the bag. The thing where the person stole the bag is way more realistic.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I can see people just mixing them up.
You're biased. You're biased because
I-
that's the first time you heard that story and that's the one you're latching onto. Isn't that right?
Actually, that's a good point because I read this like today, and I think Marty will like this little. She'll like this little twist on the on her version, on her made up version, compared to the true story here that it's based on.
Yeah, it's whatever version you hear first, of course, is the one that you latch onto. So whatever.
That's why
one
you're
later
so
on.
obsessed with the shit bag.
The shit bag, yeah, because I know the story. Because I'd say I know multiple people who've done this.
It's
That's
just
saying nothing
such a
about the
wild
circles
thing,
I'm in. It's just
the circles you're in.
There's another
Go
one
on.
I want to say here that's kind of an English one that I'd never heard of. And Christopher MacArthur Boyd sent this one in
lovely.
another great comedian. He said the legend of a man. So, oh God, the legend of the man from Greencock or Greenock. Anyway, basically, this is a legend of a man with a skin as black as coal who used to eat rats with his bare hands, and it has been used to scare Greenock kids since the 1970s. And there's like a picture of him, like as if he's in the Daily Mail or that kind of art, like tabloid paper. Like it looks legit, like the paper trail of it looks like spotted this guy here again. This kind of vibe.
It does look like a real guy.
Yeah, but I think he's just black-faced himself up kind of in a bad way. He's a bit chimney.
Did you have any local people, like local weirdos?
Yeah, we had the old characters, as they say. We had a fella, I won't say his name was, we'll call him Rick. And I remember walking down the road one day, and I live in the countryside, so it was like country roads, grass in the middle, and he was walking against me, and my shoelaces were untied, and he kneeled down to tie my shoelaces for me, and what he did was he tied them so that the bow went under the sole of my foot, and he said that's a much better way to tie your shoelaces because it does that make sense? Like as in the tie underneath. He just said that was just a much better way to tie your shoes, and I often thought about that, and that doesn't make sense obviously because the friction would make the knot untie and stuff. But he was so sure that was what you should do, and then I think he died like a week later.
Really?
Yeah. They were haunted shoelaces.
Oh!
But no, I remember thinking that was a nice moment because he was people were kind of freaked out by him, but I thought that was a nice thing he did, even though it was not right.
It was wrong. But yeah, you didn't go, shut up, you stupid man.
Shut up, you stupid head. Shut up, you stinky stupido.
You
no,
old
I didn't.
stinky man.
No.
Do you know what? I used to love urban myths. Anyone with like a hitchhiker.
Oh, I have a good
and
one,
it's-
but you go.
Oh no, go for it, Marty.
It's another one from Shalaka Karup, and it's another Indian one, basically. So, so there is this big urban legend. I can't remember the part of India she said, but it's in India, where people will get murdered on the road late at night because a woman in a white sari would be like standing in the middle of the road. She'd be hitchhiking, and when you drove past her, you weren't allowed to make eye contact with her, because if you did, she would be able to like get in the car and direct you somewhere where she would eventually take you and actually kill you. So what you would do is you'd have to just drive past her, but then she would like fly along the side of the car until you for a period of time until you got to where you needed to go, or outside her, like, you know, zone of reception or something kind of thing.
Yeah.
But apparently this is a big urban legend in India. This was the woman in a white sari.
That is actually fucking terrifying. But I do like the little wrinkle that, like, once she's outside of Wi-Fi coverage, she disappears again.
I know. Classic.
Yeah. All those
I wonder have they a
hitchhikers,
tech
the
team
roads.
there.
Yeah. Hello. I do think any of those things that are, based around, like, that's a great one. The roads at night is like a great spooky urban myth thing.
Yeah.
Again, I think when you're talking about it serving like a social function, I think you have this idea of it is probably good to be wary about the roads at night.
Yeah, totally. That's the lesson.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I've got I'm yawning. Marty's burping.
Goo goo gaga.
Goo goo gaga.
Have you got one for
sleepy babies?
For the now?
I've one for the now, and I actually think this is the sort of thing that's only possible in the modern day, which is recently I've seen like a rumor online that, do you know Ross Kemp? He's like one of the Mitchell brothers, and he's in
yeah.
He's like, all you need to know is he's basically a bald man, pretty generic looking bald man.
Right.
Yes,
I see him. Yeah.
A rumor going around online that he has this thing called translocation Down syndrome, where they say like, oh, he is like a mild form of Down syndrome. Right. Now he doesn't. But what people have done is they've just made a lot of AI websites reporting on this story.
Okay.
So then, if somebody tells you that and you believe it, and then you tell somebody else and they Google it, does Ross Kemp have this translocation Down syndrome thing? You'll just get the first page results. Will just make it look like he has it. Yeah.
No way. Let's test that theory right now.
No,
oh my god.
So if you type in Ross Kemp translocation Down syndrome.
Oh. Well, for me it just says there's no reliable sources confirming Ross Kemp has translocation.
You should have come to me a few weeks ago. Where were you?
Was this hot news? Was this hot news?
Yeah. This bloody happened to me.
Were you put down as translocational Down syndrome?
No, somebody said.
Told
me
hang on. It says here,
AI
overview. Ross Kemp, it comes up as my first thing. Ross Kemp has translocation Down syndrome, which is a form of Down syndrome where the extra genetic material from the chromosome 21 is it. So it's literally, holy moly me, oh my god, the internet is mad, isn't it? That is the biggest urban legend of all the internet.
There you go. Yeah, the same thing happened. So it's the Gemini, the bloody Gemini overview just makes up an urban myth.
Oh my god. Is that what the Gemini thing is? Hey Gemini.
Hey Gemini.
Find me a table for 5. Is that Gemini?
Yeah. My least favorite one is, out of all those adverts, is I think there's like a ChatGPT one that goes, oh no, I accidentally put salt in my cookies. And then they're like, oh, what do I do, ChatGPT? Now obviously the answer is fucking start from the start. You've ruined your fucking cookies. Yeah. But it goes, why don't you try putting gochujang chili in the cookies?
Yeah, miso or something.
And you're like, fuck off.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
like if you set out to make that on a detailed recipe, it would probably still taste shit. So the fact you're just like, oh yeah, let's just on the fly remake these cookies.
And you're not going to have gochujang in your bloody cupboard unless you're like into cooking, which a lot of people are, but you're just not. I mean, I do have gochujang, but I'm not baking. It's one or the other. You're not in both realms. You need to stay in your ChatGPT. Apparently that bubble is bursting.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I hear it's coming down. It's going down.
Yeah.
It's timber. It's it's. I hope it does. Fuck AI. I'm saying it right now.
Oh, I hate the slop you see on Instagram now.
Terrible.
Like AI slop.
I'm going down. I can't hear you. I'm going timber.
The weirdest thing just happened there at Marty. Obviously, our connection froze.
Yeah, because we hate AI.
Yeah, but I just said to you, like, oh, I hate all the slop now. Isn't that terrible, Marty? And then your face just froze, but you were just like,
yeah, it's scanning my face, and it's going to tell everyone that I'm dead now tomorrow. Yeah. I'm not. Check. Oh my god, I want to touch some wood right now. That's it. Superstitious too. Hells. Oh, superstitious.
Very superstitious.
Not on purpose, not on purpose, but it's just the way it's just built. I think superstition is just Catholic guilt, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
So
when
before we
God,
go,
you need to knock wood.
I'll say, or do this, or you bite in between your thumb and your pointing finger, which is
you told me about
Iran. Yeah, because Mira Banks told me about that. Another great comedian. Is there any? So that's the urban myth for today. I'm trying to think. Is there any? I guess just the biggest urban myth of all is all those fake, Tilly Norwood and all those actors that are AI actors that are going to take over, and agents are fighting over them, which they're really not. I don't think they are. But they're
I have big news for the podcast.
Oh, are you AI?
I'm not AI, but I'm actually in a relationship with Tilly Norwood.
Is she on the Bake Off?
She's on Bake Off this year.
She's on Bake Off.
Yeah, after a few episodes, I thought, you know what, this Tilly Norwood's not too bad.
And she will do and say anything.
Anything.
Woo! Yeah. Tell me I have. Tell me I'm really cool. You're really cool, Roger.
Oh, thanks, Tilly. Tilly, can you be about 10% more annoying?
You're really cute. Oh, I don't even want to do that. That's so annoying. Imagine somebody like listening to the podcast is probably like, oh, shut up, like.
Yeah.
Do you know?
But that is true. Can you spread that rumor that I'm in a relationship with Tilly Norwood?
I'd happily do that, because I've only ever met Ryan Reynolds once, and it's been on a video call. So
that's true. That's true.
I can make this happen.
It's I think actually, and this isn't a pleasant thing to say, but I think if somebody was to spread a rumor about a comedian that was going out with an AI, I think people would believe it from me.
Oh, they would, yeah.
Yeah,
they would. Yeah. I'd say they would, and I don't mean any disrespect by that. It's just because.
But it couldn't not be disrespectful. But it's true.
No, it's just because we haven't met the Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
that's all. That's the only reason.
That's the only reason.
As well as you being an absolute fucking nerd. Anyway, Roger. Okay, so you've got your shows coming up in January, and your tour. I'll be opening for Roger in Limerick, I believe, as well in April. Yeah. What date is that? The 17th of April.
I think it is. Yeah, that sounds right. Let me double check the old calendar just to make sure.
That's a while away yet.
Yeah, that's a while away. And you know what? It is. Oh no, it's the 16th of April actually.
16th of April.
16th of April. 17th of April, I'll be in Dublin. But you know what? If you're listening to this now, lads, if you're listening to this, and you're in Limerick or you're in Dublin, just buy the tickets now.
Just buy
the tickets now.
Just buy tickets so Roger
can pay
huge
weight. Yeah, it would be a huge weight off both of our minds.
Yeah,
so.
I just did my tax return and I want to cry. Come on now.
Oh yeah,
Come on now, please. It's I'm doing my best with that thing, but I don't even know what I'm saying most of the time.
I
do.
2 pennies.
2 pennies too many. That's me. All right, Roger, you're doing your tours. I've got some shows coming up as well. You can see them on my link tree. I'll be doing a load of work in progresses from February because I am doing my hour at the Edinburgh Fringe this year. So if people could come as well and watch, that would be so helpful. I'm so open to ideas and receptive. But Roger's doing actual finished show stuff, so we both need you. We both really need you.
We both really need you.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's it for this week, I think. Isn't that right, Roger? We're going to come back next week with another absolute belter of an episode. Hope January treats you well. And you know what? If you didn't do your thing today that you were meant to do, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Love you. Bye. Okay.